for me to pretend I'm working so that at the end of the month, I can get my 500 cedis. I'll also pretend. So I'll not give out my best. You understand? Because at the end of it all, when you run your revenue accounts, you realize that each day you make so much. So let's start my salary per day. 500 cedis divided by 30 days. How much is it? And let's start the amounts of money these establishments makes in a day. Okay, you say that I'm not the only person that you are paying, but look at the hours that I spend at work.
Exactly.
Look at look at my inputs. Look at my inputs. What I do at the office. Sometimes you get home so tired, and then you are being paid peanuts. So yes, there could be recruitment could be okay, supervision could be okay, qualification could be okay, but the salaries are not motivating. So somebody like me will not mind the salary because one, I'm not there because of the salary. Probably I'm there for a moment because I want an experience to go and do something better or bigger. So I wouldn't mind the salary. But somebody else is there because of money. And then you are throwing peanuts at the person. One, if the person doesn't become sluggish at work, the person will just be stealing. Yes. And I know institutions that have these problems. I mean, okay, you pay me 500. Every day I'll go home with 100 cedis. Every day I'll go home with 100 cedis. So at the end of it all, you are paying less and you are getting standard service from your staff. And at the flip end, they're also stealing your money. You understand? So if all that we have mentioned here, training should be proper, supervision should be proper, qualification should be proper, it must come with a matching salary. Then you're on top. But without that, I'm afraid it will be a vicious cycle.
Now let me ask. Let me ask a follow-up question concerning what you just said. So where is the problem coming from with regards to the salary? Is it the owner? Is it that the regulator is also not bothered about how personnel are being paid? Or where is it that the owners don't care? Or is the case of the owners thinking that labor is cheap in Ghana, so they can just pay anything? If you can't take it, just go away.
Exactly. If you can't take it, just go away. And also the regulators, they don't care. They will come. Okay, so how much are the staff salary? Whatever you mentioned, they just put it down. They don't make a follow-up. Okay, well, I think we have to see the director on this so that we discuss, because whatever goes in is like garbage in, garbage out. You understand? Exactly. If you pay the people well, they'll also deliver their best. If you don't pay them well, it would impact on the hotel and the Ghanaian community at large. Because if an expatriate comes in, or even a local comes in and experiences something bad, it goes around. So when good people are there projecting Ghana, some people are also there, so don't mind them. These people, they are sluggish, they are lazy, and that's where the loan can mar a whole lot. So I think the authority or the compliance people have to really step in and then do this and then do it right. On the flip side, because of this same salary thing, directors or owners will tell you, the manager, Gladys, we don't have money. So this is how much I can afford to pay. So please get somebody in that range. Sometimes it is very difficult. You scan and scan and scan and scan and scan, and the very good one, the potential one that you want to employ, would take a little bit or higher than what the director wants to pay. So you do some dance around, and then you go in for a lower person. And this lower person, you are not going to train. You are now going to supervise. So you can see that the time that you are going to train and supervise will be more if you are taking the other person. you know, because this one, if you take that person, the second grade person, it means that your supervision has to be a close marking supervision. A close marking supervision, the least, just the least chance, the person will just mess up. So you always have to be on your toe. You always have to train, always train and always train. And you know, these people, from my experience, you train and train and train, but yet still,
you won't get the best out of them.
Still.
Exactly.
So, and whatever they do comes back to you. So sometimes I find myself, when they are serving in a restaurant, I'm there. When they are in this thing, when they are in housekeeping,
because if they mess up, it's going to affect you.
It is not easy. When they are cooking, when I know I have a conference and they are cooking, I'll remove my jacket and get there. Hold, hey, do this. You say it's not easy. It's not easy when you have the wrong stuff on board. So I think
they become like square pegs in round hole.
It's not easy, Theo. It's not easy. Now I have retired. I'm tired. It's not easy.
I know. We've all been there. I know. Now, another quick, I think the final follow-up question to this is, so would you support the argument that some people are bringing in that maybe in trying to develop and improve upon the hospitality industry in Ghana, we should do it like the way they do it overseas by paying staff on an hourly basis? Then now on the same question, we've also had owners of hotels say that whatever they pay these staff are also based on the minimum wage that is agreed upon between the labor unions and government. So whatever they pay, they derive it from the minimum wage. I don't know what you have to say to this.
The minimum wage is 8 hours. Whatever the TUC stipulates as the minimum wage is 8 hours. You and I know that hotels, we don't work 8 hours. We have stood on our feet for 12 hours, sometimes 13 hours. Because you have sometimes 13 hours, you come home, you sleep for just 5 hours, you are back there. Because there's something.
Even allowances are not paid.
Yes, allowances are not paid. Per diems are not paid. Holidays are nothing. You know? So what TUC is saying as the minimum wage cannot apply to the hotel industry. What I think the hospitality industry has to do is to have a salary structure. Okay, if you're a 1-star hotel, this is your salary structure. 2-star is your salary, so that at least there will be order in the system. Not because the person is my niece, the person is my daughter. So I'm paying the person X amount of money, and then the qualified person that I have employed, because the person doesn't relate to me, I'm pushing the person, hitting the person to achieve targets that are way overboard and giving the person peanuts. I also pretend to be working. And when I see them stealing, I don't mind you.
I get you. Thank you so much, Doris. Mama Gan, let me come to you. I know you have been doing teaching and training in the past, even before you traveled to the US. Let me find out from you. Where do you think this problem is coming from? This attitude and the headache and the challenges we have with human capital in the hospitality industry in Ghana. Where lies the problem? Is it that the educators are not doing their work, or the regulators are not doing their work? Because Gladys have focused on the wage. For her, that is a major concern. Which aspect, where do you think lies the problem, Mama Gan? Hello, Mama Gan. Okay, if Mama Gan is not there, maybe I'll go to...
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I want to hear from you. I know you have done a bit of teaching and training in the past before you traveled. Now tell me, is it that the trainers are not training well? Is it that the teachers are not teaching well? Is it that the recruitment companies are not recruiting the right staff to the industry? Or what is the problem? Where are we getting it wrong? Because this issue is a big problem for the industry.
Yeah, I think it cut across the recruitment process and how we are doing it. if it is open to the public to enable these industries, bring in the individuals who are qualified for the job, or we are just going to churches and announcing that there is a hotel here, they are looking for employment, or a particular company goes to a particular community to look for people to come and work for them, or we recruit people and even tell them that, oh, you don't have to have the education for it or have any knowledge about it. Don't worry, we will train you on the job, and that's it. Sometimes the owners are the managers, and these people have no clue about the hospitality industry. So imagine how can they train their workers who are also green.
Yeah.
So that where I taught, for instance, and afterwards the trainings I did on my own, like the trainings I packaged, I was really aiming at providing the best. But will these hotels or hoteliers come to where they will get the right people to work for them? You know, for instance, if I contract you to train my workers for me, I know that I contracted you. So if they are not doing well, I can come back to you and say that these people you train are not getting it. So maybe come and do a refresher course for them or something.
Exactly.
So if we depend on the trainers or we depend on the schools for them to train our staff for us, I think we'll provide the best. So the whole thing depends on the hoteliers. It depends on the industry play, the big industries. How are they training their staff? Are they going to get somebody to come and train them? Are their managers qualified enough to train their people? And
because please
yeah.
Finish.
So it cuts across, as I mentioned earlier on. And how can we build on this? How can we sustain this? How can we sustain this? I think there is a need to create a rating policy, seriously, based on what, why, how, and under the how, where, and when. And what if, for instance, the what can be the policy is a national policy. All staffs in the Ghana hospitality industry need to have a formal or industrial education. There should be a certification. And how, why are we doing that? To ensure that what we are selling, we provide the best to our customers.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Like to ensure that we have that solid human capital for the sustenance of the Ghana hospitality industry, to sustain it. And where are we doing this? In the universities, in the hospitality institutions, with the agencies who are training our customers, our staffs. What I know is in Dubai, you know, the citizens themselves, they don't do housekeeping, they don't do cooking, but they try to get their workers from the Philippines. Most of their workers are from the Philippines. What they do is they have institutions in the Philippines who will train these people and bring them to these industries. So when you go, they know what they are about.
Exactly.
They are doing everything accordingly. So we don't just go in and pick just anybody and bring them to come and work for us. So we engage the stakeholders who are into training to train our staff for us. And we have to ensure that they are doing the right thing. And if the staffs are not delivering as they are supposed to deliver, we go back to these agencies, we go back to these institutions to ask them questions or to redo what they claim they've done, because you are not seeing that impact on them.
You know, a quick follow-up question on that. In my line of work also, I've had to interact with some hotel owners, and sometimes when you have recommended training to them, well, they tell you that they don't even see the need for the training. Secondly, they tell you that even the graduates who come from these hospitality schools, when they come in, they perform poorly than even those who did not attend the hospitality industry. That is what some of them say. Now, some of them also say that, well, we expect you to train these people. But sometimes the people that they even bring for you to train, you know, the work of a good trainer is to be able to see that this is going to be okay, this is not going to be okay. And sometimes when you see the situation, you know that from the person's background and the way the person is, and the person is just not willing to go through, because maybe the person is just a lay person. He or she has just nothing, no background, no foundation to build on. And for you to even go on with the training, you need to start from the scratch. So I just want to find out from you concerning this issue, that what do you say to those who feel that even graduates who come from the schools, hospitality schools to work, they don't perform well? What do you say to that before I go to Doc to hear her comment about it?
It depends on the kind of graduates we are producing. Are they still going for internships? And you know, in all these hospitality industries, everybody have their way of doing things. Exactly. Especially when you go to the front desk, maybe the software you are using, I don't know how to use it. You don't expect me to perform magic. At least when I come, whoever employed me or whomever I'm supposed to report to should be able to train me to know, at least give me some orientation. Train me to know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, this is the software we are using. Have you used it before? If during the interview process you feel it is something that is big that maybe you cannot waste time to train me, then that means I'm not qualified for the job. But if you employ me without letting me know this is what you use, you have to give me some time to maybe go on YouTube to go and learn it, so that I can be able to use it and work. Or okay, you give me my job outline. This is what you are the manager. This is what you are supposed to do. Any serious manager will look at his or her job outline and go and learn how to do what she's supposed to do. These days, the information is there. You can go on YouTube, learn some things. You can just Google some things on the internet and learn how to do it. But you don't expect me to start performing magic for the first 1 month. I'm learning, because you didn't train me. When you employed me, you didn't train me. Over here, whoever employs you will surely train you, give you some orientation. You will work with somebody for about a week or two before you start working on your own. And even you'll be on probation for some time. So you know that you have to learn. Whoever is training, you have to really learn from the person. If the person is not giving you what you need, you may have to go and read by yourself to understand what you are supposed to do. But back in Ghana, you don't see it like that. They will just say, okay, maybe if you are lucky to have a colleague or somebody who also doing the same thing you are doing, the person can help you. Exactly. Or you can observe the person for some time. Okay. If you are lucky, if the person doesn't hide.
That is if you are lucky, because most of them feel intimidated.
Yes.
Most of them feel intimidated.
So we really have to know what we want. If you are going for the graduates, we should not think they should know everything on the go. You also you have your way of doing things. You have to let them know, this is how I do my things. I want you to do it this way. So
they should be groomed to fit. They should just be groomed to fit. Okay. Yep. So Doc, let me come to you and hear your thoughts on the problem we have with the human capital in the hospitality industry. Where are we getting this wrong? Are we looking at the wrong areas as an industry and as a country?
Thank you very much, too. Yeah, the human capital of the hospitality industry. In fact, we are getting it wrong in all aspects, in all phases. Like you have mentioned, from the institutions to employment, to wage, to whatsoever. I think earlier on I mentioned it, that it is high time the regulatory bodies begin to, draw up some policies if they do not have it already, and make sure it is implemented. When somebody is given a particular job to do and the person doesn't have the know-how, I don't see how the person is able to do that work. You understand? That is why we have the institutions. For instance, where I find myself, that is our job, training people for the industry. Now, even from the institutions, I have a little issue with the syllabus or the curriculum. I think it shouldn't be bookish, that bookish. Hospitality, I said initially that hospitality is dynamic. Things keep changing. Things do not, yesteryear's technology is never the same today. So we need education. We need some kind of training, to be given to people who work in such industry. But it's unfortunate in the industry, as I have earlier on mentioned, the hotels or the outlets, be it restaurant, be it hotel, whatever aspect of the hospitality industry it is the small ones, the SMEs. There are a lot of them. And these people do not employ the requisite manpower.
Okay.
Because of wages, maybe. I mean cheap labor. Okay. Because if you employ the one that has certificate, you have to pay according to the certificate.
Exactly.
And as we know, it is one of the features of, one-man business. It is one of their features to, in secondary school, we learn that one of their features is that it is for a family. So it is like myself and my family. You understand? So you have people from the family, colleagues, whether they know how or not, you have them employed. As Doris said, even if you have these people who may not have the knowledge in hospitality, what do? You have to give them some kind of training. That's why we have in-service training. You have to train them, let them get the know-how and be able to do the work and do it very well. For the curriculum thing I mentioned, I think it should be something that is done where people in the academia and people in the industry meet and do something, so that the industry will tell the academia what they actually want. Then the academia will produce what the industry wants. I believe if we do it that way, it is going to go a long way. So to solve, if not solve outrightly, it will curb the issues that we have. It will reduce. Of course, no entity goes without issues. We all have issues, you understand? But then some have more issues. What do we do to reduce the issues? Those are the things we are talking about. So I think there should be a policy where the industry and the academia need to draw up a curriculum for such things, Then again, when the people are employed, I also think that they are trained. But because the hospitality is a dynamic industry, then there should be retraining. So you are not just trained once and that is all.
Exactly.
When things change, then there should be, a refresher course for people. Either you let them go out to go and learn it, or it is done inside. You bring in people like you and then others to come and do
for the publicity
training. Yes, it is really needed. But we don't see them happen. We don't see them happen. Even if they happen, it is once in a while. And we see our industry going down by the day, which is so sad.
Yes. Because you see, that the problem is that if we are not careful, we will get to a point where we cannot get the right labor for the industry. because
Exactly.
a lot of them will want to shy away because of all the problems with the human capital in the industry.